Well, that's interesting. Sorry, my computer has just been acting up super bizarre today, so that's why this live is taking a bit later than planned, unfortunately. The good news is that I'm finally live now, so all those people who said they were going to join my live from Tampa live, which I believe is already ended or is going to end sometime soon. I do believe. I'm gonna check something really quick. Oh, someone's already here. Yep, I just checked. His life is actually over. Well, in that case, that means everyone who wanted to join my live that was on Tampa's live, you can now do that. Unfortunately, given the fact that, my live is starting a bit later than planned, yeah, I do apologize for that in advance. I really wanted to do this live sooner. Sorry if my hair's a mess. I'm, really sorry about that. I didn't realize my hair was going to be a mess when I was doing this right now somehow. Yep. Well, anyways, I guess I'm going to be back then. Yep. I'm here. I have some really cool cars that I'm going to be showing in this live. Do not miss this live. It's going to be so much fun. Tampa, hello. Glad you made the live. Now, the thing is, with trying to show Forza Horizon 5, every time I try doing it, it just shows up as a giant blurry screen. So hopefully that problem has been fixed. If not, then I may just have to show it like kind of once, and then, then you'll just realize it's pretty much, I just drive cars over this same map thing over and over again. But not all the time I'm driving the same car, I'll drive something else. But if I can get it to work, that's the game. So yeah, hopefully you saw that, Tampa. I may have to put my computer somewhere else if we're going to really see the screen a lot better. Sorry, I'm just thinking of something else right now too. Okay, that's gonna do something. Oh, that's a good thought. That's a really good thought. I should try changing the brightness on my TV. I have it so bright you probably can't see anything. Or maybe it's not bright enough. Okay, now I need to find that other remote then. I'll be back shortly. I can find that remote soon. Where is that remote? Well, it's not in there, which is weird because that's normally where this remote I'm looking for would be. I'm trying to find that. Like you said, I'm going with your plan. I just need to find this remote then really quickly. Sadly, this one over here is for a different system, so that's the wrong remote. Where? I don't know why I can't seem to find remotes when I need to find them all of a sudden. I do know that Kuda's diecast and a few other people should be here soon in the live, hopefully. In the meantime, I'm trying to find this remote for the TV thing that does the brightness. That's the wrong one. That's also the wrong one. I don't understand why I can't find that remote I'm looking for. Is it over here somehow? I don't think it is. No, I don't see it there either. Oh, it is here. Never mind. Well, that was silly. Okay. Let's see. Maybe. Well, one of these buttons has to do it. Menu. Haha, found it. What? Okay, that's really strange. Okay. Okay, this is being a bit interesting, but for some reason. Yeah. Okay, it's not letting me change the brightness somehow. That's weird. Well, I'm trying to change the brightness on here, but it's not letting me do it for some reason. Nope. It looks like brightness can't be fixed. I don't want to, have anything strange happen to the TV where it's not going to work. So I guess for now, unfortunately, the brightness isn't gonna be fixed, unfortunately. Yeah, because that's channel, and we don't want to change channels. Oh, well, that's good. Well, I guess, exit. I mean, you'll be able to see some of it, but not all of it, though. I just made a silly mistake. I meant to rewind it, and I accidentally canceled it. That was silly. I'm just surprised more people aren't here right now. Because Kuda's, Diecast, and a few other people from your life said they would be here, and surprisingly, it's just us two so far. There was another person here, but then they left all of a sudden. However, I may have to end this live and possibly start another one, so I may want to edit the name of this possibly and say part 1 of 2, just depending on how long I want this live to go for. Because, if for some reason I have to end this live at 10 because, I have other things I have to do today, I will do that. But that wouldn't be fair because 17 minutes from now would only be 27 minutes in total. That would be a kind of short live. And that's not really what I plan on doing right now. I may need to have a faster car if I'm doing this danger sign thing. Oh, someone was here besides just us two, and then they left. You may be able to see it a little bit better now, possibly, even though it still is a little, glary, like a little glare here and there because of how bright the screen is for some reason. Oh, well, that's fine. What? I got 3 stars on that danger sign? I don't know how that happened, but it did. Okay, that was... Shouldn't I have gotten a wheel spun from that danger sign? Or is there a certain car I have to do it in? Oh, unlimited off-road. Never mind. Oh, there's another thumbs up. Well, thanks for doing that, whoever that was. Yeah, hopefully. I'm just hoping that more, subscribers or, people from your live that said they wanted to join my live after yours was done are showing up soon. Because, there is another thumbs up. I have zero clue who it's from. And I don't know if anyone else is going to be joining the chat feature anytime soon. Because I am going to be showing some really cool cars in here as well. Not just playing this game, but I'm showing cars too. Unfortunately, since these are kind of, collector type cars for the diecast ones I'm showing, there's no racing in this live, which isn't all that bad because I am racing some of my other collector cars, mostly ones that are non-rubber tire ones, down my track tomorrow. Well, it's back there. The reason why I pointed over there is because my 4-lane track's there, and it's a Hot Wheels track. That's why I pointed over there, even though it's not the 6-lane, it's a 4-lane track. I really wish there was a way for me to, get the TV brightness fixed better so that every time I do my lives, everyone can see the TV screen way better. Like, maybe I need to have the brightness, more past 45%, because then I feel like you're going to see everything just fine. Because if I turn it down too low, you won't be able to see much of it. So, yeah. Well, I'm not sure how I'm going to get up there, though. Okay, where's the nearest thing for me to travel to? Yep, let's just travel there. Well, hopefully, more people show up. Maybe I should, see what happens if I, wrong thing. That was the really wrong thing. I may have to, possibly, well, I'm really hoping other people show up soon. Oh, that's really cool. Wow, this next RLC membership car is the 72 Skyline HT 2000 GTR in a nice dark blue with really cool tires and wheels. Sorry, I have to, that thing just looks super cool. Okay, I have to, change car. Said unlimited off-road, I believe. Oh, it's those ones. Let's see if this one will work. Well, let's just hope that other people show up soon, because unfortunately, there's no one here right now besides just me, sadly. I'm finding it kind of a surprise that all these people say they're going to show up in my life, and then somehow it seems like they just get busy all of a sudden, or it's like really late at night, and then they are like, oh, I forgot to stop by this channel and go to their live kind of thing. I mean, I'm not super upset or sad of anything like that about it. I'm just, a little bit more puzzled, surprised, confused, because it's like, you're like, huh, what happened? Why are they not showing up kind of thing? New road discovered. Okay. Well, when this part is, when I do this danger sign thing for a wheel spin, I'm probably going to, afterwards, start showing some cars, because I want to get this wheel spin, which is kind of a surprise that these are just wheel spins so far, given the fact I do have the premium version of this game, which means I get all the DLC cards up to a certain point until they, stop releasing all their normally planned DLC cards like Forza Horizon 4. There's a Hot Wheels DLC card pack in there that you still have to buy for $10 plus tax. Well, it's technically $9.99 plus tax. But unfortunately, it's not part of the, you would think it would be part of the Ultimate Edition for Horizon 4, but no, it's not, sadly. And yeah, I already knew I was talking to myself because no one else is here right now, which, is to be expected. I will be showing the car soon, so Just trying to get people a little bit more hyped up for the cars I'm planning on showing soon. Right after I finish this danger sign up, that is. Well, this is kind of annoying. I'm stuck down here again until I go back up somehow. Imagine if this was a skill sign, how huge the skill chain would be that I have right now. This would be a huge, huge skill chain. Somehow I set a higher skill chain in my Valhalla concept car. I'm not even joking. Even with that one having a pretty big multiplier, surprisingly it wasn't enough to beat that car somehow. Interesting, there's a few other roads over here I haven't discovered yet. Oh, someone's here. They may or may not join the chat feature because of the really cool, exciting, awesome, great, fantastic, fabulous cars I'm going to be showing soon in the live. That could be one reason why someone's here. I can't believe that I've had this game for like close to Actually, yeah, I've had this game for just a bit over a month by now, surprisingly, and I'm almost discovered every single word in the game. The other strange thing is, I don't have as many cars in this game compared to Horizon 4 because, you normally get cars way more often in, like, certain wheel spin type things, more than clothes or anything. Or, like, the houses didn't cost so much because it's a different location. Kuda, hello, how are you? Tampa, glad you're back. How are you? So this is a Nissan pickup truck rally raid thing, actually, is what I'm in. This technically is not actually a full-fledged production car. It's just meant for like rally Baja racing stuff because of the big tires right there, as you can tell. Oh look, I just leveled up. I'm already on to level 78. Wow. Well, I'm glad you two are here again. Let's go! I got a free car. That's a really good free car, actually, because strangely enough, if they have that engine option I'm thinking of, they can still hit like 270 miles per hour in this game. I've actually had this car for maybe like 2-3 weeks in the game by now. I'm not quite sure. Thanks. I know it does. Oh, and also, this is sunset, by the way, in the game right now. Which is strange because normally I get a lot of, like, well, not like 2 or 3 or 4, but 1 or 2 gifts in a barn find area when it's this kind of not this kind, this type of day. Sorry, I I meant to say the other thing, and somehow I said the thing I didn't mean to say. We all make mistakes. I know that. So surprisingly, I'm actually not on the YouTube app. I'm actually on the computer right now. It looks like my live just froze up completely. Yep. I don't know what happened, but my live stream just froze up again. Well, since it's kind of dark out, that's when I tend to do not so well on danger signs because you can only see so far ahead of you with certain headlights on your car. So I think I'm going to press pause on that part and get to other things over here. I'm back. Don't worry, I'm still back. Although I think for now we're going to have some cars get shown because I have to show cars in here too because I did say that's going to be happening. They gave us the right box this time, which is good. Oh, it's a starting picture. No wonder. I keep forgetting there's not another prime here. Somehow. I'm still here. I'm not sure if, Tampa and Kuda are still here or not. Well, I got a player on the first box, surprisingly. That never happens. Yeah, I know. Now, most of these are collector cars. I'm thinking about saving that one towards, a different part of this live thing. Now, they may not be all considered collector cars, but I'm just considering them that because of, how unique and, their collectability will be compared to other certain cars. And yes, not all of them are going to be collector type cars right away. This is a Chevrolet Silverado treasure hunt. This one's actually not sold anymore, if I'm not mistaken, because I never remembered which case of Hot Wheels cars this one even came out in. Now, I'm not sure what even, made me feel like getting this car, but something did, and surprisingly, it's still in really good shape somehow. This is the Dodge Ashman Rt. And the strange thing about this car is you may want to hear the interesting engine it has. This car that I'm going to show really soon has a 170 horsepower V8 engine. I bought this one at Walmart like a few months ago. And this is a Johnny Lightning Aspen RT. Well, it's a Dodge Aspen RT from Johnny Lightning. Johnny Lightning, Autoworld, Greenlight, they all seem to do pretty well on their cars. Power Pistons, Treasure Hunt. Now, some of these cars I may or may not have, bought from like Walmart or Target or King Soopers a few months ago. Some of them I may or may not have gotten from giveaways. And others, somehow I keep forgetting I end up having them to begin with. Now, this one Oh, that's cool. Now, this one I'm showing you, this one's from Fastlane Classic Cars, actually. It's a Lamborghini, I want to say Diablo or Countach. I'm not quite sure, but it's one of those two. This is an old Lamborghini supercar from like the late 1980s or like late 80s to like mid 90s supercar. Like late 80s to like mid late 90s supercar from Lamborghini. I know that's what this is because I did some more research on it, and now I've forgotten what Lamborghini Hot Wheels car this is. Now, this is not so much, Hot Wheels Matchbox Majorette. This company's not so keen on making like premium cars with rubber tires. This is a Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV from Tomeka. This one's actually a few years old, surprisingly, given the fact that it looks pretty new. The SUV does itself looks new. But this car actually came out like a few years ago, and it's no longer sold anymore. Yep, this one's no longer sold anymore. That's right. Oh, it's a Diablo. I knew it. It's one of those two. I had a feeling it was. I think you all remember this one. Because I know I have shown this before. This Ford F350 Super Duty, the shell racing one that comes with that Mustang. This one next up is a custom 77 Dodge van treasure hunt. It's, a Hot Wheels art cars one, so it's going to have some interesting decals and paint job on it. Now, the main thing that makes me don't, think it's a Dodge van right away is like the front of it. There's no Dodge badge or symbol directly on there. There's like a symbol on there, but it doesn't look like it. It does say Dodge on, this thing right here. It says Dodge right there. Now, if we want to see some more recent type ones, we may want to close this up and go to the other side of it, because I do have some recent, newer collector type cars in here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's another new collector car. Sorry, I never seem to really be a huge fan of those Hot Wheels art cars. They never seem to wow me. Okay. That's a new collector car. I know that. I don't need that thing in there anymore. Okay, Mitsubishi, you need to get out. Sorry if I'm talking. Well, in a way, it kind of feels like you're talking to yourself, even though there's other people here. So it's like you're talking to you and the other people in your lot. This car is going to be difficult to get out. I'm not trying to have all these other cars come out, and that's kind of what seems like is going to happen. So if that happens to be the case, I might as well just, get other ones out then. that seem like they're gonna jump all over the place. So that way there's less cars that are gonna be so jumpy in here. Okay, now I don't see a reason why this one shouldn't come out. Are you kidding me? It comes out. After I emptied that half of it, it finally comes out. Oh, and I just realized another collector car I have is all the way up there. Wow, there's 5 thumbs up and surprisingly only like 2 or 3 people here. This is a custom Nova. This one I do actually recall I got from a giveaway. I do remember that. Sorry, I have to do something else really quick. Are you kidding me? No way. I just pulled the 580 Prime player from this box. Let's go. That was so unexpected. Wow. I mean, he's a really good player, but just don't know if I'll need him, though. And I got Prime XP for my Prime player. Well, that's not a bad box then, actually. You get a player, and then you get the XP you need for said player. I mean, imagine if I pulled the Legend player and I got, Legend XP, how crazy cool that would have been. So yeah, that's a custom Chevy Nova from the 1970s. Johnny Lightning Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. Now, this one's really hard to find. This one I got for Christmas last year, actually, and from what I saw on the box, they're only making, I want to say, like 3,600 of this one in total, actually. So I actually have one of those, like 3,000 something hundred of this Mitsubishi Lancer. Because that's what it said on the card box design when I opened it. It said like limited edition 1 out of 3,600, or if it wasn't 3,600, it was 7,600. But either way, they're making less than 10,000 of this one in total, and I already know that there's going to be a lot of collectors wanting to snatch this one up. I saw this one so many times, and then I saw a different one. It's still Gulf Racing colors like this one, but it was a darker blue. So yeah. I don't know how many more collector cars I'm going to show because, unfortunately, I kind of have a time limit, I will say, because I have other, things I have to do today, which means that, I can't show all my collector cars, sadly, because if I show them really slowly, one at a time kind of thing, it's going to take a long time. This is from the Thrill Climber series from Hot Wheels. Now, this one, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, 2019. This car is technically about 3 years old. Well, close to 3 years old from when Hot Wheels released this car, actually. So, yep. The main reason why I wanted this one is because this raced up the Pikes Peak Hill Climb event out in, that mountain out in Colorado. And this car set the fastest hill climb record up that mountain. Yeah, this is the fastest hill climb car ever up Pikes Peak. And it's all electric, by the way, producing close to 700 horsepower. The downside of it is, though, since they had to make this car specifically for that event only, it's a slower car, not a super fast car. Like, it's not a super fast, straight going car because it's more of a race car and it's really meant for just going up that hill climb kind of thing. And it's like, for all intended purposes, let's just, say this or throw it out there. Just making something up is that, let's say Volkswagen does make this, but they only make like 4 of it. All 4 of those are going to be snatched up immediately if they ever make a version of this that someone could use for, racetrack purposes kind of thing. However, given the fact it's not a super fast race car when it goes on the track, like for, this can't even hit 200 miles per hour. That's how sad it is. It can go like in the range of like 140 to 160, I believe. But otherwise than that, 200 seems to be quite far out of the range for this car, sadly. So that's not going to happen for that one. Yeah. I want to save these 3 for a little bit later. So because of that, I'm going to open another one and show this. From the Modern Classic series, the new one, that is. This would probably be my favorite car from that series. My second favorite one from this one would be that red Mitsubishi 3000 GT, because that one has a V6 engine producing like 276 to 332 horsepower. This one is like, I believe, an inline 6. It's 4-wheel drive, and this one also is in the range of like 276 to 332 horsepower for this car. This is a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution from the Modern Classic series. It's the Mark 6, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is the Mark 6, I believe. Yeah, this is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution Mark 6 in this really nice blue color. I like the wheels, rims, and tires they went with for this casting. Well, it's kind of hard to see it, but right there is the Mitsubishi logo. It's really small, but it's like those 3 tiny triangles thing. So, yeah. So now, they're saying, well, that was interesting. Sorry, I was just looking at some chat stuff going on in my baseball game. It's about some like trivia question thing, and someone is now saying instead of no, yes, yes, it's yes, yes, no. I don't know who's going to be right and who's going to be wrong for that thing. We'll just find out what happens at 11 a.m. because that's when this thing ends. And that's when this other thing ends, actually. Both things end at 11, so we'll see what happens. Yep. I have another collector car I'm showing from here. The sad thing is, you may not recognize it right away, but this Otterworld Supra that I got from Walmart a few months ago too, actually, or maybe more or less like a few weeks ago, really. The headlight's broken off somehow, which is why I have to put it away immediately after showing it, because otherwise it's going to get damaged really quickly. This is one of my favorite premium Hot Wheels cars, and surprisingly, I didn't realize this, but somehow I found this one in a different Walmart. Now I don't want to keep going into details of like where I get all these cars from kind of thing, because I don't want to say this, but I'm trying not to give away, like personal info type stuff and of any sort, really. So yeah, I understand that, Tampa says stuff about, Colorado and things like that, but it's like, as long as you don't give away like exactly everything, like you just say, for the hill climb, that's kind of a different thing. because, again, that's a special event, and if people want to know where the hill climb event happens, you kind of have to tell them, otherwise they may not know where it is. So yeah, because of that, I'm just gonna, try to not say more stuff about, Colorado too much often. This is from the Boulevard set from like 2016 or 17, I believe. This is the Subaru WRX STI in the rally colors. This one is not the full-on rally version. Now, it does say Rally Team USA. I do understand that, but it's not a full-fledged on rally car, though. The reason is because it has all 4 doors, and the Subaru Rally Car one of this, it still may look like it's a 4-door one, but it really has only 1 door that actually, works because, well, 1 or 2 doors, because I believe in certain rally events, you have a regular driver and then a co-driver that helps you drive along the track kind of thing. Now, surprisingly, this one still seems to be in relatively good shape. There are a few, scratches on it, but very few, though. All right. Well, that's done. So I guess I'm going to show these. This is one of the most expensive Mercedes-Benz cars in the world, actually. It's probably if there was an article on Google or something, this would be in the top 10 most expensive Mercedes-Benz cars in the world. This is the 300 SL. And yes, surprisingly, as it may seem, from its engine and horsepower that it put out, which was I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say this thing put out over 2 to 300 horsepower, somewhere in that range. This car put out a bit over 200 horsepower. I do know that. Now, the engine I'm sadly unfamiliar with because, I do not have a huge knowledge of super old cars, and given the fact that this one, this car right here came out in the 1950s or 60s, I believe. It's a really old car, and since it had, a version with those special gull-wing doors, although this one you can't open the doors with because it's a special made one from Hot Wheels. If these ever sell at auction, they go for more than $400,000 US. I already know that's gonna happen most likely. If you find one in perfect condition, that is. Now, this is from a new diorama display set. This is the Mercedes-Benz Display Set one. This is not a single basic car. You cannot buy it by itself as a basic car. Well, you can, but it's not the same version, obviously. Hot Wheels has made probably 1 to 3, or maybe more than 3 basic versions of this car so far, but I'm not quite sure. I know they've made a few versions of this one before this one came out, actually. And they probably may or may not have made, well, besides the ID one, they may or may not have made another premium version of this, the 2016 SLS AMG GT3 race car from Mercedes-Benz Amg. Sadly, this car is not for sale in real life, given the fact it's a race car. You technically can get a somehow street legal version of this, like the GTR Pro, which actually has, I believe, 7 to 800 horsepower, 750 to 800 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, which is strange that a street legal car gets more horsepower and that one you can buy, but it's not really going to give you the same feel as you're driving in a street legal version of that race car, because it's kind of like the top performance version of the AMG GT from 2015 or 16, whenever that new one came out from Mercedes-Benz and their AMG company. Yeah. The odd thing is that one has 750 to 800 horsepower, if I'm not wrong, I do believe. Oh, that's right. That Mercedes was from the Open Track series. I remember that now, actually. However, they have never made a version of this car until last year, actually. This is the Sopper C9 Mercedes-Benz race car. This car actually raced in 24 Hours of Le Mans in like 1980 or 1990, I believe. So, I know I said I don't have facts about, like, certain cars from the 1950s. Well, that's because, I'm not into, like, super basic cars from those time frames. And given the fact that, Google may or may not be helpful at times for, like, certain engines and things like that because, cars change engine. Car companies change engine in their cars. That's what I was trying to say. So many times that it's like you don't know which engine they actually have in that one car because like if someone wants to know facts of an old Ford or Chevy truck, they may have multiple engine options. So that's why I'm saying it's kind of hard to figure out certain engines. This one, however, I do know it's a V8 engine, produces more than 600 horsepower, and this thing, top speed wise, well, it's faster than most Le Mans cars today, actually. This thing could go like in the range of 250 to 270 miles per hour. For this car's top speed on the Le Mans track, it was like 250 to 270 in that range, actually. And yes, this back part does come off so you can see the engine. Now, this is a Group C Le Mans car, which, strange as it may seem, most people may not know what Group C is. I mean, I may or may not know what Group C is, but based off all the cars that raced in Le Mans that were Group C cars, it seems like C must have meant crazy because they were like crazy fast or something, or it means something else. Either way, that car, along with the Porsche 962 or 56 and the 787B, were all in the Group C class for 24 Hours of Le Mans, like back in the late 1980s to like mid 1990s, and all of those cars could hit like 250 to 270. Well, probably more like 250 to 260, really. 270 is kind of an exaggeration because I don't think any Le Mans cars have been known to go that fast, actually. So yeah, those Le Mans cars, zoom. They just went zoom on the track. I'm not even joking. You see this thing on the track, you don't want to get in its way because those things rev up crazy quick to their 0 to 60 time. And it's like, once they go 100 plus miles per hour, those things are going to be really hard to stop going on a straightaway. Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I kind of have to be, unfortunately. It's almost 10:30 for me, and I have other things I have to do today, sadly. So because of that, like I said, I'm not going to have time to show all of them. I know, Le Mans cars were always the fastest, but surprisingly, this thing could go faster than the GT40, actually. Along with the 962, the regular 962, the 962C, the 787B, and I believe the 956. Although the 956 is also a Porsche Le Mans car, I believe. Because, surprisingly, people may or may not know this, but there's a Porsche called the 961, I believe, and that looks similar to the 959 rally car, but surprisingly, it's looking like more of a 959 rally car that's meant for, like, touring car race events kind of thing. It may or may not have been a rally car, or may not have been a more extreme rally car version of the 959. Whatever the reason is, I've never seen that car race before. I may have to, do a YouTube video search and see if that car actually raced or not. I can't do a YouTube video of, like showing the car, although technically I could because that car is actually in a game I play, but sadly, it's not in the game it's not in the system that I have with me right now, sadly, so that's why it can't be used. Yep. I might as well show these cars so that way you all see which cars are racing and which cars won't be racing for this event tomorrow. So in that case, I think it's best if I start putting some cars back then. Oh no, so all of my cars are now in these, by the way. I have all of my cars in these double-sided storage bins, which hold up to 46 cars in total, if you fill them all up, that is, for both sides combined. Which means one side is 23, the other side is 23, 46 in total. Oh, and I forgot I have other cars. Actually, that Porsche 961 is not in Project Cars 2, it's in Project Cars 3 for PS4 and Xbox One, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I have other cars I need to put away. Just realized that. Oh, and I need to put this one away too. Well, I believe that's the game it is in, if I'm not mistaken. However, before I start showing these other cars and then probably wrapping the live up because of time limitations for how long I can do this live, sadly, I thought I'd show this. Hot Wheels Speed Machine Audi R8. Yeah, I actually have a few Speed Machines cars because, surprisingly, we actually had a Toys R Us open, but, these cars are not made anymore. And the Speed Machines on, the only place that, well, places I've seen Speed Machines are probably like eBay or Amazon. There might be other selling websites, but this one, you know, isn't going to be made anymore anytime soon, sadly. Hot Wheels is making new Speed Machines series cars starting this year, actually. They're bringing Speed Machines back, surprisingly, but they may or may not have the same tires like their older castings did. Since it's a premium brand thing, I'm expecting that they might be rubber tires, or they might be non-rubber tires and like plastic ones instead for the ones they use on their mainline car. Or you know, basic car sets. So yeah. However, speaking of Speed Machines, there is a Speed Machines car that I'm going to be showing in this Ferrari collection, actually. If it's there, that is. Yes, I found it already. I'm not sure if we're going to be winning this or not. Oh, wow, we really are winning. We have 56 million points in that event, and they only have about 500,000. Yeah, Hot Wheels Speed Machines is coming back with 5 new cars, actually, including the Lamborghini Sion SPK 37, which is like some crazy, ridiculous Lamborghini hypercar thing. Oh, wow, that thing completely broke off. I may have to store the cars on the other part of it because that thing is... The weird thing is it closes just fine. But, yeah, it's not really... I'm going to call this the teaser part of this live because I'm basically, you know, in a way like teasing the cars I'm using for tomorrow's live, actually. Well, not all of them will be raced, only some though. Sorry, this may take a few moments to get all the cars ready to show because some of them got turned upside down somehow. Yeah, so these are not all Matchbox or Hot Wheels cars. Well, majority of them are Hot Wheels, actually, but not all are, though. So, yeah, this is kind of like a sneak peek teaser, special, part of this live because part of me almost didn't want to show them because I've already shown them twice in 2 separate collection type videos, but if you want to see them in the live, I'm going to show them now, and I'm going to show some of these cars again tomorrow, but not all of them, so I guess it's best if I show them now then. This is a Brago Ferrari and it's the Law Ferrari. And for most people who may or may not know this, Law Ferrari actually means the Ferrari, as in like, this is the Ferrari that is like supposed to be like kind of expensive. It's a hypercar. It's a V12 engine. Top speed of close to 220 miles per hour. It's a hybrid V12, putting out, I believe, like a bit over 900 horsepower actually. That car is expensive. It's actually more than $800,000 US. I know that. All these Brago Ferrari cars I'm showing you, most people probably may or may not know this, but these were bought in Italy actually after visiting the museum there, because they had a really cool Italy had some really cool like diecast shops, whether they're like part of a auto museum or not. You can find other Brago Ferrari cars that you want to buy that aren't actually sold as part of the auto museums there from that car company. You can buy them at a specialty toy store out there in Italy. That was the F12 Berlinetta, by the way. That thing's like in the range of $300,000 to $500,000, which is still kind of expensive. Now, this next one I'm showing you is the Ferrari F50 from Brago. V12 engine, and I'm not quite remembering how much horsepower this put out, but I know it was more than 400. I do remember that. This car does make more than 400 horsepower. I know that. Now, I guess if we want to stay in the line of the F50, I could show the Hot Wheels one that's not made anymore. However, that car will not be racing due to the fact it's extremely slow and just gets stuck on my track. Oh yeah, Italy was so much fun. I don't want to go into details about a vacation thing because, then it sounds like I'm just coming across as showy or braggy in a way, and I don't want that to make anyone's feelings, feel like they're getting upset or hurt kind of thing. This is the 599 GTO. Now, I'm not sure what the GTO part is for this car, but it has something to do with this car, and I don't know what. It's not the Pontiac GTO, so we know it's probably not the same, but this is probably like a, Ferrari. I wouldn't say touring car because, Ferrari wasn't hugely into touring car racing. I mean, they probably had some cars in that kind of thing, but probably not too many, though. But yeah, if anyone has any information of why they have the word GTO for that 599, please do let me know, because that's kind of a confusing thing that I still haven't figured out yet. Because I know it can't relate to the Pontiac GTO because that's a different thing. Let's see, I've shown those. Oh, this one. Isn't that a Scuderia? Yeah, this is the Ferrari 430 Scuderia from Brago. And like I said before, I may not have mentioned this while I'm live, but I'm still missing 2 Ferraris from, Hot Wheels ones that I've had for a few years. And I'm starting to really think that I may have given them to someone. However, I'm not going into names of who may or may not have ended up getting it. Oh, well, if you know what the GTO part means for that 599, please do let me know, Kudas. Diecast and cars. Oh, that actually makes sense now because it's Italian. Actually, that might be right, possibly. Gran Turismo Oblongata. That could be right, just because it's an Italian car. And I know they would not have their thing be the same as the other thing. This is an old Ferrari F1 car, actually, from Lesney. Now, surprisingly, yeah, that makes sense now. So, I'm going to say this again. Lesney was actually Matchbox way back in, like, the 19-something time frame. I can't remember when, but sometime in the 1900s, this company, Lesney, was actually what Matchbox used to be way back in the day, sometime in the 1900s. I can't remember when though now. But I don't know how many years later, but they switched over to Matchbox somehow. Well, actually, surprisingly, before they switched fully into Matchbox, it was called Lesney, then Lesney Matchbox, and then just Matchbox itself. So Matchbox has actually had 2 other names before it was fully called just Matchbox, surprisingly. Okay, this is funny, but my baseball game just gave me 2 notifications for the same gift. I don't understand why they would do that. Makes 0 sense to me. So yeah, anyways, I'm not sure if you 2 are still here. I hope both of you are here. Kuda's Rebel, diecasting cars, and Corvette lover. Hopefully you 2 are still here, because I have plenty more Ferrari cars I'm going to show. This is the Hot Wheels Ferrari 288 GTO, and it's probably going to stand for that same thing like the 599 GTO is. So this GTO name is probably going to stand for the same thing as the 599 GTO is. I'm not mistaken based off, what you said about that one. It's probably going to be the same for this one because it's another GTO. That's the 288 GTO, by the way. That's the 288 GTO, actually. It was Ferrari's first supercar with a V8 engine, actually. Their first supercar, surprisingly, the 246 Dino GT, had a V6 engine producing like almost 200 horsepower. I don't understand why anyone would call that a supercar, but yeah. Sorry to say this, Kuda's Rebel diecasting cars, that was a 288 GTO. Not a 308 GTO, actually. And I don't even have a 308 GTO from Ferrari in my collection. I want to show an interesting one next because it doesn't have a name for it, actually. Now that I think about it, I'm missing another Ferrari. It's a 512M. I just realized that. I'm missing a 512M in blue, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm missing 3 Ferrari cars. Wow, I didn't realize that, but I'm missing another Ferrari car. Yeah, I had a feeling you meant to say 288. We all make mistakes. Again, no one's perfect, so people will make mistakes. That's bound to happen. I'm not sure, but this may or may not be a different version of the 512M, or it's the 512 TR, because it was, same chassis, if I'm not mistaken, although it could be a completely different car. I may have to, Ferrari 512 TR. Oh, wow, I actually might be right on the money. Never mind. Hold on, I have to... Hot Wheels Ferrari 512 TR. I gotta look to make sure. 512M, don't need that one. What? Okay, this is weird. I'm looking for Hot Wheels Ferrari 512 TR, and guess what shows up for no reason whatsoever? Someone made a custom Bugatti Chiron in a Cheetos design, and they want $70 for that thing. I don't understand why anyone would spend that much for it. Oh, the TR means Testarossa. I knew that. That's the exact one that I'm holding. So this is the Hot Wheels Ferrari 512 TR, actually. I just found that out right now. And apparently this is from a series back in the day called Speed Fleet, which I guess a few years later switched over to Speed Machines for something. And surprisingly, this car in perfect condition would be $30 plus tax, actually. Because it's not made anymore. Yeah, exactly. I'm just puzzled as to who would want a custom-made Bugatti Chiron Cheetos design thing. Makes zero sense to me. Alright, so now I know what that Hot Wheels Ferrari car is. This yellow one over here is the 250 California, actually. It may not look like it, but it actually is. Next up is the Ferrari FXX. So, surprisingly, this one has a V12 engine. The newer one from like 2017 or 18, the FXXK, and the Evo, which are technically both, well, one of them's more of a full-on fledged race car version, and the other's kind of a, pushing it for, street legal version of what this would be like 7, maybe 10 years later. Yeah. So they stuck with the V12 engine for this one, but they just gave it more horsepower, and they made two versions. One that kind of looks like it's street legal, and then one that looks like it's really meant for the track. But yeah. However, the V12 in the FXX and FXXK Evo, same V12 engine producing 1,036 horsepower. So you technically could round up and say that both of those have 1,040 horsepower, meaning that in total, if you're combining both engines together into one car, which I don't think would be possible, if someone did that, that one car would have 2,080 horsepower, and that's a lot of horsepower in one car. The only possibility I would see anyone putting those two engines into one vehicle is if they're trying to make a salt flats rocket car thing that goes like 400 plus miles per hour. And I just can't imagine a car going 1,000 miles per hour, but someone has told me that there was a car on the salt flats that hit 10,000 miles per hour. Some sort of special car on the salt flats hit that fast. I don't think a car can go 10,000 miles per hour. If a car goes that fast, I feel like the driver would just be dead at that rate. Because seriously, not even street legal cars need to go that fast. Or should ever go that fast. So yeah. What car did I just show? Oh, the FXX. Well, here's the Hot Wheels Ferrari California. I know it's in pretty rough shape. This is a convertible sports supercar from Ferrari. It's a V8 engine producing I believe, if I'm not mistaken, close to 400 to 500 horsepower. Now this is the 250 California that I was talking about, or it's something similar. I think for wrapping up this live, I want to end it on a really cool Hot Wheels car. I know, it still looks pretty good. Wow, I didn't realize this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically 6, but not really. I have 5 Hot Wheels Ferrari race cars. The technically 6th one is the F50 because it has racing numbers on it, but it doesn't have decals and stuff to make it a full-on fledged race car, given the fact it has 2 seats and both seats are there, meaning that you can have a person driving the car and a person in the passenger next to the driver of that car. And yes, that car's only a 2-seater. Oh, and speaking of luxury cars that Hot Wheels is making, Hot Wheels, I just keep seeing quite a few YouTube notification videos. They're making the Koenigsegg Gemera, or Gemera, however you pronounce that car's name, because again it's Swedish and I'm not good at speaking Sweden language for cars, or just conversation stuff in general for Swedish language. But the Gemera from Koenigsegg is actually a 4-seater Koenigsegg. And that kind of makes me wonder, why would they do that? And not to mention, the car can still go over 200 miles per hour. So I don't understand why a company would make a, hyper supercar thing that has more than 600 horsepower, more than 700 even, probably in the range of like 8 to maybe over 1,000 horsepower, but I'm not quite sure. It's 4-wheel drive, actually. It's Koenigsegg's first 4-wheel drive car, if I'm not mistaken, although I could be wrong. But it looks like a weird, hatchback estate wagon thing. And Hot Wheels is making one this year. But it's not going to be out for a few more months, sadly, though. Now, speaking of bizarre car companies making stuff like that, Ferrari, on the other hand, made something, kind of like the Gemera, but yeah, the Gemera is like a 4-seater hypercar. But this one I'm showing you next is not a Koenigsegg. It's another Ferrari, because that's what I'm showing right now, is some Ferrari cars from my collection. Yeah, that Gemera, like I said, it really does look like a hatchback almost in a way. This next Ferrari kind of, in a way sort of would mimic the Gemera, but not in the exact same way, because not same top speed, not same engine, not same horsepower. This is the Ferrari Ff, and it's kind of similar to the Gemera in a way, because it looks like a hatchback. This was Ferrari's first and probably only hatchback type car that's all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. It has, I believe, in the range of 500 to 700 horsepower from a V12 engine. And this thing was meant to go on dirt and snow roads, because I saw pictures of it on dirt and snow roads apparently. And I don't understand why certain luxury companies are trying to make a hatchback thing that goes off-roading. That doesn't make any sense to me. Next up, we have the only Matchbox Ferrari car I'm showing. This is the 456 GT. This is a Matchbox Ferrari car. Yeah, I kind of knew you were going to guess that anyways. I mean, this is great that, I'm showing these really cool cars and people are really excited to see them. And what's really making me more happy is that, if people have, facts about certain cars they want to share during this, or share stuff about Hot Wheels cars or Matchbox cars they found recently, by all means do that. Because, I don't care how many chat things one person sends, as long as it's, relating to these topics somehow, in a way. This is the 308 GTS from Hot Wheels. It's another Hot Wheels Ferrari car. This is my second Roadster Spider convertible car from Hot Wheels. That's a Ferrari one. And I know you said this, but you mentioned earlier that you meant to say 288 GTO, and for some reason you said 308. Well, this is the 308 GTS Hot Wheels Ferrari in yellow. The next one I'm showing is the blue Hot Wheels Ferrari F50. I already showed the Brago version of this car. Now it's the Hot Wheels version. There's a classic Jaguar sports pack that I'm trying to buy because it has the XJ13, which is technically it's a race car from Le Mans from the 1960s, in the era where the 250 GTO LM and 333 P4 or SP4 would have been. Oh, well, this is the GTS, actually. I didn't know that about that car. Showing that one. I'm just pulling out the other Ferraris I haven't shown yet, and like when I want to show them. So yeah, just give me a few moments to get these cars out, and I will show them momentarily. Because I know I've shown all of these other... Well, actually, I haven't shown that one. Never mind. I know I've shown all of these ones. Except for this one, too. Well, I'm not sure how I want to end this, because... That's fine. That's totally fine. Yep. I think I want to do it this way, maybe? Actually, rather kind of do it that way, supposedly. I don't know. Well, anyways, here's the Hot Wheels Ferrari Enzo in this nice yellow color. And yeah, I know it's, like, has some paint wear on it. Or, possibly other kind of damage to it, but it still looks pretty good. So there's that one. Oh, I have to do something really quick. Sorry, BRB. Gonna be right back really quick. Just have to do something really quick. Yeah, the yellow does look really good on the Enzo car. Wow, we may or may not. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to, burp or anything while I'm live. I'm so sorry about that. I do apologize for that in advance. You know, that 5-pack you're talking about may be for sale at this special diecast store I go to. And we are losing, sadly. Well, I don't think I'm going to win that one, unfortunately. And I'm not sure if we're going to win this one either. Because it's a really close match. No, I'm doing it this way now. Next up, we have the, Hot Wheels Ferrari F5, F355 challenge car. Sorry, that was a really hard name to pronounce. Yeah, as you can tell, the wing from that car is missing. But this is a challenge car, and I have no clue why this was called a challenge car or anything like that. Like, is there a certain challenge racing event thing that I've never heard of before? It seems like it, because I've never heard of this car before. Next up, we're starting to head more into the other Hot Wheels Ferrari race cars I have. This is the 575 GTC from Hot Wheels. And I've never heard much about this Hot Wheels Ferrari race car or this car later in real life for this 575 GTC. I'm assuming it's probably a V12 engine. Could be wrong. It could be a V8 somehow. But yeah, this car does look pretty cool, I will say. Sorry, had to do that really quick. Now, you're going next. Yeah, I believe that's correct. Okay, so for some bizarre out of the blue reason, the TV has turned off. I'm turning it back on so I can. Are you talking about you have the 575 GTC or the F355 Challenge car? Because the GTC, I've never seen that car race before in my entire life. This next one I have that I'm going to show is the F12. Never mind. That other car I was thinking of was a different F12 thing. This is the F12M race car from Hot Wheels. It's another Ferrari Hot Wheels race car. Yeah, I'm not sure what the 575 GTC was used for. Yeah, and has similar color to that challenge car. Wow, we've lost again. I'm getting a double loss, even after putting a bonus player in. Well, that's really not good. Not good whatsoever. Yeah, we've lost that by 6 million, and I can't score like 6 million points, sadly, and we've lost this by more than 30, just about almost 30 million points. So we win the first one, meaning that I'm going to be, for both CVC things, we're both going to be 1 for 2 in the first round of it, meaning that unfortunately did not go as planned. It's a double loss, I already know that. Yep, we lost that one, and we lost this one too, because this person called Just the Tip had to overscore and be annoying. Sorry if I'm saying this random user in the game is annoying, but, you know, I'm not going into more details about it. I'm just saying they were annoying because they made our club lose at the end, sadly, and that's kind of annoying when stuff like that happens. That's fine. Anyways, back to the live, because these cars I'm showing next are probably going to end the live. This next one is the Ferrari 333 SP. This is a V12 engine Ferrari Le Mans race car. Now, this one doesn't race until, like, I want to say the early to, like, mid-2000s. For this one, it's a V12 engine. I know this can go more than 200 miles per hour based off it's a Le Mans car, and it looks pretty fast to me. Kind of like that Mercedes-Benz one does, but not quite the same style and stuff, because obviously it looks a bit newer. Like the late 90s, or I probably want to say this is, if it's not from early or mid-2000s, this is probably a really late 1990s race car. This is red for this one. I know what you meant for the orange one. That one produces over 600 horsepower. This car does. Next up, we're going back in time from like the late 90s or earlier mid-2000s back to the 1960s for these next three cars, actually. Yeah, I had a feeling that was a like mid or late 90s cars or like early 2000s car, I believe. Anyways, this next one up is from the 1960s. This is a race car. They probably didn't make a street legal version of this car. So I was right. It kind of did go a little bit after 2003. This is the 250 LM, and LM obviously stands for Le Mans. Hence, the number on there makes it a Le Mans race car. Really like the yellow on this 250 LM. Now, this one was not bought at that diecast store, which is about 1 or 2 hours away from me. This one was bought in Fast Lane Classic Cars. The Mitsubishi and that other Mitsubishi, those were both from the special store that were from the one that's like 1 or 2 hours away from me. Oh. I know, but sadly the 250 LM is not a street legal car. It's a race car only. They never made a street legal version of it. If they did, it would be like crazy expensive, more than probably like $1 million US. Next up is the 250 GTO from Hot Wheels. It's another race car. Now, the strange thing is, they did make street legal versions of this. They probably made less than 100 or even 20 probably. I'm not sure how many street legal versions of this car they made, but however many they did make of this car for street legal, someone bought this car at auction for close to $100 million US, making it the most expensive car ever sold, or probably bought in real life, that is. This one's still in pretty good shape. I wouldn't say perfect, but it's in like pretty good shape. V12 engine, 330 horsepower for that one. The next one I'm showing you, well, I've kind of mentioned it already. This is the Ferrari 330 P4. Technically, this has a special name. So they only made 36 250 GTOs that were street legal. So, anyways, back to this car that I'm showing now. This has a interesting name. It's the Ferrari 330 P4 52915, and this car was actually made in 2001. So they made 36 street legal 250 GTOs. I'm surprised, and one of them sold at auction for like close to $100 million US. Not this car, but the previous one I showed. The street legal version of it sold for almost $100 million US. You have the red version of which one? The 250 GTO or that P4 that I just showed? Okay, and wrapping things up for this live, we're going to end this on a very special Hot Wheels Ferrari car. But before we do that, if you could tell me which one you have the red version of, the 250 GTO or the the P4. All right, well, now since that's done and out of the way, let's do a drum roll, because this one is probably going to be worth more than most of these ones will be, but I thought I'd just do a quick drum roll because it's a really special one. It's actually more special than those regular Hot Wheels or Matchbox ones, so let's do a drum roll. $599 FXX. Well, $599 XX, actually, not FXX. Sorry. Hot Wheels Speed Machine. This is the $599 XX Hot Wheels Speed Machine Ferrari. This thing just looks super sick. And I mean sick as in like this cool way. And I'm already starting to imagine how much this thing could be worth if it was in perfect condition. This thing probably is worth more than $40 if it's in perfect condition, easily. Because again, it's another Speed Machines car, but it's a really cool Ferrari. So, unfortunately, I would like to go longer for this live, but due to the fact I have a few things to do, and I have to get ready for these other things today. Yeah, we're gonna have to end the live right about now, probably, or maybe a bit later. I wanna, I was gonna end the live there, but I just noticed something. I want to end the car and video game live on a really cool one. I hope everyone would be okay if I show like maybe a few more cars and then end the live, because I was planning on ending the live right there. Logan, hold on really quick. I'm saying that I may show a few more cars before I end the live, and I want to make sure people are okay with that, because I just forgot that I wanted to show these cars too, actually, before the live is officially over. Because trust me, these cars are going to be really cool, the ones that I'm showing next. I don't want to show too many, so I'm probably just going to show 4 more cars and then end the live after that. I was going to show that car, but I'm deciding not to. I'm going to end it on 4 different cars from 4 different times. Alright, so we're going to start it off with the Johnny Lightning Oldsmobile Toronado. Now, people may or may not know this, but there's a custom-made version of this from Jay Leno's garage that has a... Technically, I'm going to just say 1,000 horsepower because it's really 998, I believe. So I'm running it up to 1,000. However, that car is not for sale due to the fact that, he's the only one that has one with that much horsepower, because it's probably a special built one, specifically for him, most likely. This is just a street legal version of that car that has way less horsepower than that special Jay Leno custom tuned built one is. Did that one go in there? Well, it might have, I'm not sure. No, those two did. Did this one come from here then? Yep, I believe it did. Oh, and also the hood opens so you can see the engine somehow. The next one up is going to be this really cool aqua teal blue 67 Dodge Charger. Wow, that's cool. I didn't realize that. Must have been a special built one, though, for the Pikes Peak event that they used it for. So, surprising as it may seem, I normally don't go into details about certain cars, but I didn't realize this. This is an RLC car. You can tell by the wheels and the rims and the tires that this was an old Hot Wheels RLC car. And I actually have another version of this car, but in green, and it's a regular one. Now, after realizing that Honest Diecast did a live about this diecast car company for the next one I'm showing next. These are not toys, so technically they're not meant to be used for like diecast racing, stuff like that. Yeah, that's kind of what I said. The rims kind of gave it away that it used to be an old RLC Hot Wheels car. This one I'm showing next is the Toyota TS050 or 040. No, this is the 050 hybrid Le Mans race car from Toyota. Now this car may or may not still be used anymore, but this one, I know it might seem like, the Group C cars could go like up to 250 way quick, but this is a hybrid V8 engine, actually. This raced in Le Mans like as of 2014 or 15, actually. This is from Sparky, by the way. This is a Sparky diecast car, and apparently these are collector type cars, so note to self, if I ever get any more diecast cars from Sparky, they are staying carded unopened. Because it said somewhere on the card out when Honest Diecast got his Sparky Porsche race car, which is what, I'm referencing this to, even though it's not a Porsche, it's a Toyota race car. Somewhere on the card packaging design, it says, "This is not a toy." And I didn't seem to realize that, because mine didn't say that anywhere. I must not have seen it somehow. Either way, like I said, if I ever get more Sparky cars, they are just staying in the card. Huh, you open yours. Interesting. Well, the weird thing is, it's like, they don't look like slot cars to me. Because if it's a slot car, you know that the tires and wheels would be completely different. And it would have like an on and off button thing. That one doesn't have anything like that. So actually I was about to put it in the wrong one. Now, the final car, and yes, this is the final car I'm ending the live on. We're going to like 2016, 17, or 18, I believe, with this car. This car produces close to 600, but not exact. It's not 580 or 590. Oh, that's really cool. That you have those Sparky cars in your collection. It's not 580, it's not 590 or 600, but it's close to 580 horsepower. This is the Tomeka Mercedes-Benz Amg GTR in green. 577 horsepower from a bi-turbo V8 engine. Top speed close to 200 miles per hour exact. However, this is going to cost more than the regular standard version or the convertible version of the AMG, obviously. And also, another cool thing, boom, the door's open. So, yeah, time for me to put all these other cars back. Or I'm putting them back in a different order for these cars. My Nissan Rally Raid truck thing is going backwards in Horizon 5, and I'm not even pressing anything. Well, that's pretty much it for this live. Like I said, I am doing another live tomorrow with most of my non-rubber tire Hot Wheels and or Matchbox Ferrari cars, or basically all the non-rubber tires are like Brago Lesney cars, the ones like with the plastic regular mainline type tires. Those will be the ones I'm rotating, except for the Hot Wheels F50, because like I said, I've already gone over the reasons why it can't race. What I was going to say is that there's, few reasons why that can't race. But I decided to say it a different way. So, yeah. Do not miss that live stream tomorrow, because I'm probably only doing it once, because I don't like using those Ferrari racing cars too often on my 6-lane or 4-lane tracks. Well, that's pretty much it. Everyone have a good rest of your day, or just have a good rest of your day. no matter where you are, just have a good rest of your day, and also have a great weekend. And I'm probably going to say that again when I go by. Tomorrow's live, that is. Okay, I'm really confused as to why I said go by, but what I meant to say is that tomorrow's live, I'm going to say the same thing, as in have a great weekend. That's what I was trying to say. I don't understand why I said goodbye. Sorry for any confusion I just caused then. Again, I just like saying this a few times, not that many. No one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, just like I did too during this live a few times, which unfortunately I wasn't trying to, but they happened sadly. So yeah. I do apologize for making those mistakes in the live. That's it. Bye now. And we'll see you in tomorrow's Ferrari Racing Live. Oh, Marky's Tar World, you just showed up when I'm ending the live. That's a little bit sad because I wish I could do this live a bit longer, but I'm just glad you stopped in to say hello because unfortunately you missed a majority of the live actually. I'm not sure if you were here watching it. That could be why you may or may not have been here, but anyways, sorry to say this, Marcus Charwell, you just missed most of what happened in the live, sadly. The good news is you can watch it on my channel when it's done and on there. So there is, that way of you watching it, Marcus Charwell. Well, I gotta go. So this is the end of the live. Bye, everyone.